Hey everyone, happy Tuesday, or should I say happy Groundhog's Day. It's February 2nd, and hope you can join me tonight. We're actually going to make two cards. I got a request today, so I was already planning one card, and now we're doing double. So there you go. I'm going to flip the camera around. You're going to see my ceiling for just a moment, and we'll go ahead and get started. By the way, this is Susan Campfield at SueStampfield.com, and this is our Tuesday evening tutorial. So let me flip the camera here, and we'll go ahead and get started. See my ceiling for just a moment. Hi, Heather. Thanks for tuning in. I was anxiously awaiting for somebody to come join me here. Make sure I'm in the right spot. I am a little bit late, but there we go. See if I think we're good. My desk is a mess tonight. Well, big surprise, right? So tonight we're going to do a little playing with the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set. The Hey Birthday Chick stamp set is actually in the January through June mini catalog, but there's a special going on this month, or an exclusive, I should say. They've come out with dies to match this, so you can actually purchase this as a bundle and save 10%, or you can get just the stamp set or just the dies. And so the dies not only have the things that cut out the shapes, like the chicken here with the funky chicken with the cupcake, and the chubby chicken and the little baby chicken, the egg there. So those have dies that cut them out, as well as this one here with the balloon. It also has some standalone dies, which I love that. So we've got the fence, we've got the happy birthday, we've got this cute little chick, and then we have this sack of grain, I suppose it is. A little bow tie there, so cute. And then a little bit of confetti or streamer, and then some hay. So we're going to go ahead and, let's see, where should we start? First things first. Got things everywhere. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start with our paper trimmer here. Just grab that and pull that in. So we're going to do a fun fold. I send out a Tuesday tutorial, or a weekly tutorial free project sheet, and this week's project sheet is this I don't know if I want to call it a fun fold. It's really more of a layout, I guess, a layout idea of ways to use your designer paper. And you could do this with any designer paper. So it's a great way to show off your designer paper. One thing I like about this fold that we're going to do, or this layout, is it can show both sides of the paper. So I've got one here. It's not a card yet. It just will show you the possibilities. So you take the paper and you make a cut, and then you fold back the pieces and then decorate your card. But that way you've got you can show off both sides of the paper. Sometimes the paper is so pretty you don't even want to cover up that other side, right? So this is the layout that we're doing tonight. I'm going to use the paper that you can get right now. If you purchase the starter kit this month, you get 5 packs of Designer Series paper. This is matches our color family. So for instance, this one is the subtles. Now this is only, you get 4 sheets of each color. This is just showing you 2 sheets of each color. You get the subtles, the regals, the neutrals, the brights, and then the in colors that are going to be around another year. So you get 5 packs, 40 sheets per pack, so you get a lot of paper. And what I like about that is you have every color except for the in colors. So gives you a nice collection. The in colors that are about to retire, you don't get those. But it's also a good value because they're $11.50 a pack, and you get 5 of them. So it's a pretty good deal, and then you'll be able to use those when the new catalog comes out. So what I have here is I've got So Saffron from the Subtles collection, and I've cut it 4 by 5 1/4. Now, if you don't get the starter kit and you don't have this paper, we do have right now a patterned paper that matches our color families. It's just different patterns than this, but that would also work, or any of your designer paper from your stash. So I've got my piece. Again, it's 5 1/4 by 4. And I want to cut it at halfway, but I'm not going to cut it all the way through. So it's 5 1/4. So I am not a math person. So I have to go backwards. This is really embarrassing to admit, but maybe some of you are like me. So half of 5 is 2 1/2, right? And then half of 1/4 is 1/8. So I know that I go to 2 1/2 and go to 1/8. That's easier somehow for my brain than to say 2 3/8. But if you're a math person, or excuse me, 2 5/8. See, I did it wrong. 2 5/8. So if you're a math person, 2 5/8. If you're not, go to 2 1/2 and then slide it for another 1/8 of an inch. And then you're going to put your cutting blade down. Let me slide it down so you can see it. So I've got my cutting blade here. The scoring blade is a light color, so don't use that one. The cutting blade is the darker gray. And then you can see there is a ruler right here as well. So I'm going to slide my blade down the ruler, and I'm going to stop it halfway. So this was 4 inches wide, so half is 2. Even my brain can do that math. So I'm going to stop at 2. Now, if you accidentally go a little farther than that, or a little less than that, it totally doesn't matter. This is a very forgiving type of craft paper thing. What's the word I want? Layout. It's forgiving layout, which I like that. It doesn't, you don't have to be super duper precise, and I do appreciate that. Now, I've seen this fold sometimes where people do it at kind of a fun wonky angle. That is totally cool. It's entirely up to you. I am not a fun wonky angle person. I tend to like straight lines. I don't know why, especially when my paper has is lineal like this one. I prefer to be straight. So I'm going to do very straight, proper right angles here. But again, you can do what you want, right? So I'm going to just line that up, that fold up with that line in the paper, and fold that back. So now this is a tone-on-tone paper. So this is, doesn't have quite the pizzazz that a completely different side does, like this one. So it's a more subtle look. And we could do it with this way that I'm doing, where the stripes are the main part of the paper and I have a little bit of the check going. Now you don't need to worry about this part. You see how like it's like a little weird there? That's going to be covered up so with our design, so you don't need to worry about that. Don't stress about that. But I did want my angle straight. Again, depending on your paper, you might decide to go where this is coming off more at an angle and it's not a right angle like mine. Totally fine. It's your choice. Now we could also do it where the square pattern is the main part of our card and it's the stripes that are coming out. Totally, again, doesn't matter, your choice. Very forgiving design. So let's see if I can find my stuff. All right, so here we have our card base, standard card base. So we've got 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, folded in half. It's kind of your same old, right? Let's see. And I frantically was cleaning my desk before I went live, so I would even have room to show you anything. I can't be the only one that has a messy craft desk. Please tell me that some of you have a messy craft desk as well. So we're just going to add some adhesive here. I want it to stick pretty good, so I'm adding a fair amount. Don't worry about those flap. Almost looks like a shirt, doesn't it? Like you could do a man's polo shirt card or something. If you didn't have the suit and tie dyes, you could just totally do this layout that way. And then I'm just looking to make sure I've got an even border all the way around. So I'm just taking an extra minute to make sure I have that in the right spot. Now these flaps are going to be tacked down. What do you want to tack them down with? Well, that's another option. You can use dimensionals to tack them down. You can use glue dots. Depends how much dimension you want there. I don't really know what I want, so I'm going to try dimensionals. And if I don't like it the next time, I'll use glue dots, right? Let's see if it's going to be too much. I like dimensionals a lot. Kind of like that little sort of shadow that you get and that extra depth. So I'm going to try it with the dimensionals, so that gives me that little bit of a pop-up going there. All right, so we've got that done. Now we want to decorate our card. So we are talking tonight about the Hey Birthday Chick. Oh, I got the wrong dies. And these ones are called, I want to give you the right name, the Birthday Chick dies. Okay, well that was super obvious, right? And I'm going to use this little tiny chick here because it's so cute. And so I've actually cut some ahead of time just to save us some time here. But I cut a bunch. I got a little carried away. So we've got, I just went with the subtles here. We've got Petal Pink, Purple Posy, Pool Party. What else have I got? Seaside Spray. Somewhere around here there's also a Balmy Blue one. It has flown the coop. Haha, get it? It's my little chick humor for tonight. Can't find it. That's okay. We won't be using that one. He's fired. All right, no worries. You're seeing a peek at what we're going to do later. Okay, so we've got... actually, you know what? I can't... Seaside Spray and Balmy Blue are a little close, and this is, yeah, that one is the Seaside Spray. I thought so. All right, so I've got my piece here. Now, I've already punched out a shaped punch here. Now, you could also use a die cut for this. It doesn't matter. I did want to layer this, so I did the punch twice, cut it down the middle, and that's just going to make a layer then. So it'll just stick out just below and just above my label here, just to give it a little something extra. Once again, I'm trying to craft through my phone, so sometimes I'm a little bit off, but that's all right. Okay, so that's going to go right there. We're going to go back to the dimensionals. Pop that up. And we'll just stick that on, and then we're going to add our little chicks. So what color should we use? I think we definitely want to use Petal Pink because, you know, we've got our Petal Pink. You might guess that I am making an Easter card here. Easter is on April 4th this year. Today is February 2nd. Does that seem like a long ways away? Because it's really not. I mean, we're talking 2 months here. So, something that we want to start thinking about. You know, wouldn't this be a sweet baby card too? Oh my gosh, it would be so cute as a baby card. So I've got my 3 little chicks there. This is the soft seafoam one. Let's try the Pool Party one, see what we think. I need votes here. You guys got to help me out. We got Pool Party. We got, let's try Seaside Spray. And that's pretty cute. I think Purple Posy is going to be lighter than I want. Let's give it a try, though. Hey, Teresa Johnson from Arizona. How are you? Hey, Kathy. Okay, I need some votes here on colors. I am leaning towards Seaside Spray. Are you guys going to be cool with that? We're going to go Seaside Spray. Going once, going twice. All right, sold. For our Seaside Spray. Now, this card is going to be a pop-up card on the inside, so we'll get to that in just a moment here. I'm going to take some mini dimensionals and pop up my little chicks. You wouldn't have to if you wanted to just put them down with glue dots. That would be totally fine. They do have, when you die cut them, the wing does cut out. So if you wanted to even put just a half a dimensional behind the wing and kind of have just that popping up, you could totally do that. If you wanted to put a little take one of our pearls, our small pearls, and color it in basic with like the basic black blend or a Sharpie. You could have the bird have kind of a black eye, like I think chicks really do have. Oops, he's a little bit there. And then I'm going to put the pink one just a little bit higher. And of course, you guys know I'm going to add a bow, right? Because that's pretty much how I roll. So I've got my three chicks in a row here. And then I'm going to add some ribbon. So one of the ribbons that I love to grab when I want to customize my ribbon is this ribbon, which is, I believe it's just the metallic edge ribbon. It comes in white with a silver edge, or it comes in vanilla with a gold edge. Oops, I bumped the camera there, so sorry about that. And what I like about this is that you can take one of your markers, a Stampin' Blend marker, or you can take a regular marker, you can take a sponge with some ink, and you can color the ribbon to match whatever your project is. So I'm going to make mine so saffron here. And it's just like that ink just soaks right into the ribbon. It actually is going to be coloring both sides. Dries really, really fast because this is, if I use the alcohol marker here, if you use an ink pad and a sponge or a regular marker, you're going to want to let that dry a little bit or you're going to get a little ink on your fingers. Not that that's a bad thing, right? Pretty much how I roll most of the time. So then you've got a custom matched ribbon for any project. So if you don't have a certain color, and you can see it just goes through both sides. If you don't have a certain color, you can make your own ribbon to match, right? So this is always, I almost always have at least one of these rolls on hand because there's some times where I just don't have the right color, and so I can just make my own that way. Cut my tails a little bit shorter. Sorry, I'm anal about my ribbons, aren't I? All right, we need to get to our pop-up part of our card. So I'm just going to make a big old mess tonight. Grab a glue dot and put our sweet little ribbon on there. Wouldn't that be a fun welcome baby card too? All right. So we've got our... It's a little wet still. I'm not sure. It's not going to stick to my glue dot. I'm going to have to let it dry for just a little bit. So we'll work on our pop-up section while that ribbon dries for a minute. Didn't come off on my hands, but it is not wanting to stick. So, okay, so let's do the pop-up portion. So I really hope I had the right one. Oh, I do. Yay. All right, so I'm going to put something that will pop up on the inside of my card. So I have a second card base here. This one is a little smaller. So this is a standard card base. Once again, 5.5 by 8.5. This one is a little bit smaller. So it's 5.25 by 8. And I scored it at 4. So halfway, right? I'm just going to fold it and then that's going to go inside of my card. But before I put it in there, I am going to add a pop-up feature. This is the easiest way, in my experience, to do a pop-up. There's a lot of different pop-ups you can do and more complicated. This one is the easiest. You just take your scissors and you cut on the fold. I've got my card folded here. And I have a bigger piece going in mine, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to make actually 2 pop-ups. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat tonight. Okay. So do you see how I just cut? It's hard to see there. So I cut up here, cut up here. It's not, there's no science to it. I'm kind of eyeballing it. Now I'm going to open this up and I want to pull those pieces towards the front. And I'm going to close my card with those pulled forward. So that I'm just going to crease them on that fold. Okay, so do you see what we made there? We just made a little kind of a bridge or little pop-up piece. So what are we going to put on our pop-up? That is a good question. I have pre-die cut some words here. So we've got Happy Easter. This is from the, let me grab it really quick, the Word Wishes dies, which are in the catalog. I love these because they have every holiday pretty much covered. Your main ones anyway. So you got New Year's, the word happy, of course, Easter, St. Patrick's, Thanksgiving, Father's, Mother's, Valentine's, Christmas, Halloween, and so forth. So I do use those a lot because I tend to do a lot of holiday themed things. So I have a piece of saffron here. We're going to attach this saffron to our little bridge pieces that we made. And first I'm going to put down my Happy Easter. Now when I cut this, I had the adhesive sheets on the back. So I have this, the words are already sticky and easy to work with. I think it was 2 weeks ago on one of my Facebook Lives here, I showed how to add those adhesive sheets to the cardstock. But if you can't find it, shoot me a message and I'd be happy to direct you. Just popping out the centers of my A and E. The S piece came out pretty easily. So we've got a Happy Easter here. And that's going to go inside on our little pop-up. So let's go ahead and adhere this to the card, or to our card base. In my experience, this works better if you do one side at a time. So I'm just going to do the bottom side first. You can also use liquid adhesive for this. It gives you a little more room to adjust if you don't have it quite right. I'm going to go almost to the score line, but not quite. So I'm leaving, not even a 1/16 of an inch maybe. I'm really close. I just don't want it to buckle. So I've just adhered the bottom part. In my experience, if I put adhesive on both and stick it in there, I get this weird buckling on the middle. Don't know why, it just does. But if I do it separate, it works just fine. And a little bit here, a little there. It's super sticky. I'm sticking myself. Now I'm just actually going to push my card closed, and now I've got that adhered inside. And now I'm ready to add my Happy Easter. So I only want adhesive on these two pieces. You can use glue dots. You can use tear and tape. I'm going to use tear and tape because I don't want my pop-up to fall out or get pulled out. So just make sure your tear and tape is not higher than your little pop-up pieces here. I don't know what to call those. I guess pop-up pieces is probably the best thing to call them instead of a bridge, right? I've still got that glue dot on the front, so it keeps wanting to stick to the surface. I gotta get my ribbon on there, cover that glue dot, don't I? It's like pulling the pin on the grenade. Okay, so we're just gonna center our Happy Easter right there. Close that up. Let's see if this is ready to stick on. There we go. So there we've got our pop-up card that says Happy Easter. So you can see from the side the little bridges. Now you could do anything in here, right? You could have these little chicks inside and have it say happy birthday when you open it. You could have fruit. I mean, you could have literally the person that asked me about it today, it was actually a piece of designer paper, and then it had love in the center of it, and that popped up. So possibilities are endless with this type of card. And then I just really quickly wanted to show you, this is using just one die from that stamp set. So I want to show you these other ones. Let's see if I can find. So we've got our crazy hair chick here sniffing the cupcake, or tasting the cupcake, I like to say. And then we've got our little party chick in the egg, and I just balanced him on the back of this chick. And then I have the words Happy Birthday. I die cut those out of the glimmer paper, and so it's kind of a sign, and then the little chick is holding that. This stamp set has some confetti here, so I'm just going to stamp that confetti. Let's see, in Calypso Coral here. In that corner and right about here, just to fill in that background just a little bit. And then these are all going to get popped up on dimensionals. And so it'll look like this when it's done. And then I'll just attach this with dimensionals. This card opens up, it's a Gatefold card that opens up the tall way. Now it's much easier to put the confetti on. I decided to add the confetti after I had all my critters on here, so I ended up getting a little confetti on my sign, so I just clipped the corner off. Is that cheating? That's what I did. So that opens up like that, and then I'll have my greeting and my sentiment inside. And for that, one of the birthday stamps I really like in this one is that you're still a spring chicken. So I'm going to put that on the inside of my card here. So let's talk about inspiration. That is some really bad stamping, Susan. Yes, it is. That's why paper has two sides. Let's try it on this side. That's better. And I think we're just going to throw a little more confetti around it there. So let's talk about where we get inspiration from. I'd love to know where you get your inspirations from. One of the things that inspires me, as a demonstrator, we often do card swaps. And I participate in a lot of card swaps. I also organize them for my team of demonstrators, and I always participate in those too. And so I get lots of cards. So I can show you the card that inspired this one. It was from a team member, Tracy Brown, I believe, in Lakeville. And so this was her card with the darling donkeys. Super cute. So that's where the gatefold just inspired me. I can see I changed the direction. I changed everything about it. But sometimes just seeing a layout that I like really inspires me. Or sometimes it's a color combo I see on cards. Or there's lots of different things that can inspire you. So one of the things that I'm offering this month in February, if you place a $50 order, you're going to get a pack of cards from me, sample cards. Some of them are going to have retired product on them, but I've handpicked some of my favorite fun folds or color combos or whatnot. You'll get a nice variety in your pack, and hopefully that will inspire you and give you some ideas. I do get inspired by swaps. Like I said, I participate, the ones that I send out in my weekly newsletter, which is where I got this fun fold idea or this layout idea. Those are, I do a virtual swap with 50 demonstrators every month. And so we each of us have a project sheet that we design, and then we virtually swap them. So I also get a lot of inspiration from that too. And that's what I share with you through my weekly project sheet. So if you haven't signed up for that, for the weekly project sheets in your email. It's a great inspiration source, so I'd love to have you take advantage of that. And that's what I have for you tonight. I'm going to flip the camera here. Just a reminder, the Hey Birthday Chick and the Birthday Chick dies are available now. They just started yesterday, and they'll be available through the end of June to purchase as a bundle. You can also get them individually. Also, the Hey Chick stamp set, which was a celebration stamp set from 2017 actually, is back and available again, as are some dies that match it. And I'm just going to show, I haven't even opened them yet. They're just opening them now. Now, I am from Iowa originally, so I had to have these dies because they have corn cobs and corn on them. And we got the chicken coop, the chicken wire here, the fun wooden sign, and then the eggs, the stump, and then, of course, the things that cut out the chickens from the Hey Chick stamp set. So those are also available now through the end of June. So thank you all for joining me. I'm going to flip the camera here so I can say goodbye. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. I hope you have a great night. And so our groundhog friend says we'll be having 6 more weeks of winter. I live in Minnesota, so I'm sure we'll be having more than 6 weeks of winter, because usually we have April snowstorms, as do other areas of the Midwest, my friends in North Dakota, Wisconsin, South Dakota, and Iowa, so Montana and whatnot. So everyone, take care, have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.